What up, troops? Welcome back to the Litanah Army. I'm Lit, and this is Fortnite Save the World. And in particular, we're doing today, Let's Talk. And these are kind of little podcasts that I'm doing every week, so I'm going to put these out every single Wednesday, where we're going to meet a new YouTuber from Fortnite Save the World, and actually just talk about the game and talk about them a little bit more, so that we can kind of bring the community together just a tiny bit. Now, we had an awesome time last week with David Dean. Next week, we've got the amazing Torii X, who I'm really looking forward to, who does those slick edits on his videos. But today, we've got the incredible DemonJoeFrance. Alright then, guys, so today we're here with DemonJoeFrance, so thanks for joining me today, Joe.
Howdy.
I just want to go over your kind of journey that you're like. I've been doing a bit of research in the background, and I want you to just tell me if this is correct or how you feel about this. So what I've got, this channel started about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And about 3 years ago, you started covering Destiny. And I didn't realize quite how extensively you did that. Quite a lot. You did quite a lot of Destiny in the early time of your channel.
Yeah, that was pretty much my main game for as long as I can remember, pretty much.
Yeah, well, about 2 years in, I saw that you mixed it up a little bit. We got some Fallout, we got some Uncharted, we got some Warframe, and obviously Destiny mixed in as well. And then about a year ago, you kind of went back to full on Destiny after that. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, you got the Destiny 2 coverage, which it looks on the channel, from what I saw of the video titles, you were really excited for, but then you were quite disappointed in.
Yeah, Bungie was always, like, their track record was always filled with great excitement, and then, you know, we're listening to the community, and then they were always under-delivering. And I hyped up the release of Destiny 2 because I truly believed that it was going to be the game. I've been covering Destiny for the entirety of my YouTube career, essentially, and I was extremely hyped for Destiny 2. You know, I was ready to move my YouTube channel forward, and you know, I was a huge fan of the game at the time. And Destiny 2 came out, and it was just worse than Destiny 1. And at the end of the day, I felt betrayed. I was like, Bungie obviously did not learn anything.
So what is it that was wrong with it then? Because I mean, I played Destiny 1 a little bit, but I kind of stopped with the expansions. I didn't like that whole like setup that they did. But tell us, like, what was wrong with Destiny 2? If we've got time in this podcast for that.
Essentially, basically with Destiny 1, they had a development problem where midway through development, they pretty much had to wipe the slate clean and redo everything. Well, with Destiny 2, there was reports from many news outlets that was the exact same thing that happened to Destiny 2, and they had to completely clean slate the entirety of the game. So essentially what happened is that the development team was way too focused on a story, because so many people were really expecting a good story from Destiny 2 because they had a lack in Destiny 1.
Yeah,
and essentially that made no room for any meaningful end game at the end of the day, or anything interesting to do. There was just so many things that were in Destiny 1 that were completely missing, like private matches, strike-specific loot, random rolls on weapons were very controversial. And at the end of the day, the game was just really incomplete. But I assume that Activision pushed forward a release date and refused to delay the game. And at the end of the day, it came out unfinished. I was extremely disappointed. A lot of people were. And at that point, a lot of people have already left the game. A lot of people wanted to stick with the game until it got better. But I was at the point where I've already dealt with enough of, having unfinished products and being told that they're listening. I was just like, okay, I'm done with the game. I'm going to move on. I'm just going to do something else.
Well, as an outsider looking in over that time, it seemed quite an emotional time, because I saw videos that were like, I don't know what to do. My channel is dead. It looked like you were really, you were really reaching. And I'm definitely not saying that in a mocking way. I hope you don't think so.
Oh, no. I know.
It actually seemed like quite an emotional time, as in, you genuinely seemed a little bit lost during that time. So how did you kind of pick yourself back up around then?
I mean, back then, YouTube, I haven't been earning money on YouTube for a full year as of yet. I wanted to make sure that YouTube was a hobby for me. Yeah. And make sure it was something I genuinely enjoyed. So for multiple years, I actually didn't make money from YouTube. And, it was really a huge part of my life. Every single time I'd upload, I'd get about 100, 200, and on a good video, I'd get 300 views. And, that made me really happy to be able to upload content that people enjoyed every single day. And
Yeah.
then it started getting to the point where I'm running out of ideas. The game isn't providing any content. Views are at an all-time low. There's barely any comments and stuff. And for me personally, it's like a huge hobby, and it was going so well for so long. Things just started going way down the drain, and it was kind of worrisome for me because I've always wanted to do YouTube, and that's my main game. That's like at the time the only game I could ever think about covering, and it's just going nowhere.
Well, it reflected a little bit because the channel changed quite a lot over the Christmas around that time, because you did you did some Minecraft, you did some Halo Reach, which I used to love, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But maybe the game was too old for it's old, isn't it, for YouTube? It's quite niche.
I did play Halo Reach because it went back to backwards compatibility on Xbox One.
Ah, got you.
And
That makes
I hadn't
more sense.
played it in years, and I loved the game, so I just wanted to upload it. But around that time, honestly, I was really just trying to find the next main game that I'd be playing. So at first I thought it was going to be Halo. I've done plenty of Minecraft in the past, and I still play that game today. I'm not afraid to admit it. I really do like Minecraft. Because I like the idea of being able to do anything you want in a video game.
Yeah, the base concept of it, you can't deny is genius.
Oh yeah. But around that time, I was really experimenting with so many different things because I was trying to figure out what my main game was going to be. And then around that time, Fortnite was kind of brewing. Some big things were going on there.
Yeah.
And I started doing Battle Royale gameplays. I would just, play the game, and I would upload victory royales, and with my friends, they'd have their voice in the background and stuff. But the crazy thing about that is that during that same time, I was playing Save the World in the background. Now,
yeah,
I
think a lot of people started that way.
I
think a lot of people started out that way.
Oh yeah, I ended up being one of those people that would get on Save the World for the V-Bucks and then go to Battle Royale and then buy themselves a skin. I was actually used to be one of those people.
So you're like the cliche Save the World player then. So you came over to grab the V-Bucks and ended up staying.
Well, that's not exactly how it started, but that's how I got addicted to Save the World. I actually bought the game within the first week of its release. My banner in Save the World is actually the Fortnite logo, which you could only get from signing up for the newsletter around like the first week of release or something.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I was actually there literally within the release week, I think 2 or 3 days after the game came out. But I bought it on PS4, and the game was so buggy. The frames were terrible. The lag was awful. And it was such a fun game, but I could not stand not being able to properly play it because of the performance issues. I ended up quitting, and then I played it a little bit later around Halloween time, and I actually did not play enough to get the Gravedigger. I was able to get Marine Corps Ramirez and Lamarai, and I had them for a while until the birthday event came back. But then I stopped playing around Halloween again, and then the main event I came back on was around Spring It On, the Chinese New Year, and the Cyber event.
Yeah, that was a great time as well to get in.
Oh yeah. And that's around the main time that I started really getting back into Save the World, because I saw the event shop, and that was kind of the main thing that caught my eye that was different. I was like, wait a minute, I can earn this gold and I can buy all these items, and this seems really cool.
Was there a particular weapon in the event shop where you thought, I want to get that?
No, it's for me, really, it was just the concept. I was like, oh, so it looks like they're putting a lot more into the game now. And like they got these events going on. I'm like, I'll try it. And then I ended up trying it. The performance was a lot better than I remember. I was getting, like a solid 30 frames, which on console is heavenly. And, the game was performing pretty well. So I started playing it in the background of playing Battle Royale. And, season 3 ended. I just got the John Wick skin, used to play all the time with my friends. And I got to around 72 total Battle Royale wins whenever I decided that Battle Royale was extremely boring to me. And ever since then, I haven't played Battle Royale, and I've only played Save the World. And that's just been my main thing every single day.
I think it must be hard for the battle royale community, or especially the creators. Sorry, not so much the community, because I was watching Courage JD on Twitch. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, Courage is. I mean, I love watching that. I think his demeanor and how he is on, and how he plays the game and how he interacts, I think is fantastic. So I watch a lot of like non-Save the World Twitch, Twitch streamers, Save the World players, things like that. He's one who stands out for me. The only thing is, once you've watched, I don't know, 6 or 7 battle royale streams, it's kind of like I'm watching the same kind of thing. So it must be hard for him to come up with something new to like, to keep that fresh. So Save the World for a creator is kind of like a godsend.
It's a little bit easier, I'd imagine. I look at a lot of these battle royale YouTubers especially, and I have that whole Fortnite fuzz series. And I try to keep it within the bounds of the Save the World community, or else I'd already have that Allie video out. But you look at the battle royale YouTubers, and I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day. I was like, I really, really believe that these people probably hate the content that they're putting out for the most part, just enjoy the money. Because you got to think about the clickbait and the thumbnails and what you got to go into making these. It's essentially basically just trying to make little kids click on your video with obnoxious titles and thumbnails. And you have some YouTubers like Laserbeam, for example, who I love. He truly loves what he does. He's a very comedic battle royale YouTuber, and that he truly enjoys what he does. But then you have other YouTubers, which I'm not going to mention names, but you can tell from the titles and the thumbnails that they're truly just trying to cash in on a trend at the moment.
I mean, do you think eventually you'd be able to get that kind of success with a game like Save the World?
For me, with Save the World, I think that, before too long, excluding Scammer Get Scam channels, of course, that one of us
we'll
is
get
going
to those
to
in a
be,
sec.
There's no doubt in my mind that one of us is going to be getting to 1 million subscribers very soon. We have FORTNITEMARES, we have the Christmas event, we have whatever Epic has planned in the future, which looks extremely bright from the State of Development blog. But the game's not even free yet, and we have Aidan Harris, who's 1/5 of the way there. So
absolutely.
We do have a very promising future, and I think as content creators, one of us will be hitting 1 million in the future. As for me, whenever I talk about like YouTube success, quote unquote, to me personally, a lot of people, it could be different, but I count 100,000 subs as what would be considered YouTube success, as being successful on YouTube. And if I were to hit 1,000 subs, I really couldn't ask for anything more. Being
100,000.
Yeah.
You've done 1,000.
Yeah, we've done that. Being at 100,000, that would truly, to me, be considered success. If I ever hit 1 million, then people are a little crazy for bringing me that high. But, I'm always down for 100K, but I truly do see a lot of us being successful. I see David Dean hitting 100K very soon. I see, especially able to get this money, 100K. I see in the future he could be, 250K. Aidan Harris could be
easily.
500,000. And amongst a lot of other people, the Save the World community every single day is thriving, and tons of new people coming to the game, and whether the Scammer Get Scammed videos are succeeding or not, we have our own little circle, and our circle is doing very good at the moment.
Yeah, and I think it's good, the actual community there, like Checker, like Aidan, who you mentioned, and David Dean. Torii X is another upcoming one that's been really good. I think I like that little circle, that small circle that we've got there. I just think it's fantastic. And what's great is, as well, for people listening, there's loads of room for like more. So if people are thinking of setting up, Fortnite Save the World channels, thinking, well, I can't get into that, or it's a click, it's absolutely the opposite of that. If anything, I'm constantly looking out for new upcoming channels. I mean, when you first started doing Fortnite Save the World, I was there commenting on the channel. Again, Torii as well. Streams. I look for them all the time, because I just think, any one of these guys, as long as they're doing the right thing, as in not the scammer get scammed kind of meta, then I'm all for that. But that takes us on nicely to that. I mean, it's a bit of a taboo subject to talk about on your channel, I think, and I thought you were pretty brave when you were actively speaking out against, people like Easy Drop, Endorail, Landon, and all the others. I could name loads. But, you were quite active in speaking out. What did that actually take for you to do that? Because it's quite a brave move, I think, to actually do that.
With the Fortnite Fuzz series?
Yeah, because I've seen it on Reddit, and I've been a victim of it myself before. You can get a lot of backlash for even speaking about it. So if you've just got the word scammer on your channel, even if it's not, you're not doing a scammer get scammed video, you're just talking about it, it's kind of like, oh, you're a scammer get scammed channel. You get labeled straight away. So I thought it was pretty brave that you were speaking about it. And I think you led the way for lots of other YouTubers to do that as well.
I have been thought of as a scammer get scammed YouTuber before, but it's never been to the point where it was actually serious. It was an initial impression, and then somebody was like, "Oh wait." It was funny because I was in a game of Save the World one time, and somebody said, "Oh my God, it's DemonJoeFrance, blah blah blah." Somebody else in the lobby went to go check out my channel, and he was like, I think he saw one of my weapon videos talking about one of the rarest schematics and guns in the game or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, this is just another scammer get scammed YouTuber." And then about 5 minutes later, he was like, "Oh, wait, never mind." But with the whole Fortnite Fuzz series, it was actually the first time I've ever done anything like that. It was back in June 21st, 2018. I made a video on Jakers.
Yep. I watched it again today, actually.
This video was I think I had just started Save the World. So I was barely over 5,000 subscribers or something like that. Yep. And you go back and look at the video, it's almost at 60K. But I made this video because it made me so mad to see a YouTuber trying to exploit getting the game for free. And he advertised it for everybody, and it only turned out to only be for Xbox. So not only are you being a scumbag by trying to have people pirate the game in a sense, but you're also, being deceptive to a lot of other people. But as far as the Fortnite Fuzz series goes, to me, it's just personally second nature. I've always been somebody that in person will tell somebody pretty much how it is, whether they like it or not. And that's a good and a bad trait at certain times. But for the most part, if I see somebody being out of line or something, I don't care if I'm a 5,000 subscriber channel going against somebody who's a million. It's just an opinion, and I want to talk about it. And it turned out that a lot of people agreed with me. I'm
very similar to you in that train of thought. We spoke, didn't we, in the DMs, and I was talking about the Fresh Panda comment that I got. And I think it would, I think sometimes the bigger channels not tend to bully in a way, but they tend to think, well, they've got this huge voice. I don't think they realise that our side of the actual game, it's there. It's just a lot quieter. We're not as brash in that sense. But if they see people standing up to these bigger channels like yourself, there's a lot of support there, and I think it was great to see a lot of people getting behind them videos. Have you had any sort of backlash from them people, from your Endo Reels or your Jakers or Dante, anyone like that?
The most backlash I've ever gotten. Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned Dante, because Dante just recently blocked me on Twitter.
I saw on your video today. Yes. What was that all about?
There was this so I was talking with a subscriber. I posted a tweet and I said, I can't believe that people would actually pay other people to make thumbnails because I enjoy doing it so much. I just find making thumbnails really fun, and I just tweeted that out, not thinking anything of it. And somebody commented, they said, "I would at Dan7, but I don't want to be petty." So I quote retweeted their tweet and said, "Well, I'll do it for you." At Dan7, "Are you too good to make your own thumbnails?" And the funny thing is, I did this knowing that he has a tweet on his account. I don't know if it's deleted yet, but it says quote, "Can somebody make me a Black Ops 4 thumbnail?"
I saw it. I saw that one, actually. Yeah, I saw
he
that.
responds to the tweet and he says, "I make my own stuff." So I screen capped that other tweet and I said, "Oh, well, that's interesting. I was just wondering." And then after that, I guess he had enough. He finally blocked me, which I thought was hilarious. But because he used to follow me. He followed me on Twitter. I never followed him back, but he followed me after my Fresh Panda video blew up.
See, I follow them all to have a look at, like Fresh Panda Land, and I follow them all just because I like to know what's going on. Twitter's for that, that's the way I see it. I don't see it as me supporting him in any way, but I do like to see what's going on. But he did put, I did a video on Dante, and basically, I mean, it wasn't overly harsh with him, I don't think, but he was basically, he put a big long comment on there, how he's wanting to move out of the scam meta, saying he only puts out one scam video a week. And he said if people reach out in our side of the community, then he said, we can work together. Well, I sent him 2 messages on Twitter. I sent him a DM on Discord. I went on his live stream and put in there. I just didn't get anything on the live stream. Just got ignored. So he's, on one hand, he's saying that he wants to change the content and people should reach out. I know Morgan Split Screen's reached out to him as well, but he doesn't reply to any of us. So it just makes me wonder, do you really want to change any of that? And why would you change any of that if you're making so much money? Because they pretty much dominate, the views on Save the World at the minute.
Yeah, you just had a YouTuber by the name of Twine Cheeks just hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah,
and that's pretty. I don't even want to talk about that. But
how unbalanced is that though? When you've got A1, David Dean, yourself, and then you've got someone like that and the thumbnails are so copy paste.
Yeah, they're so bad. They're the exact same thing. Yeah, every time.
So it just makes me wonder, like, how do you feel about, how do you feel about the balance at the minute in viewership? And is the responsibility on us a little bit? Well, as creators.
Whenever I started doing Fortnite Fuzz, which the beginning it wasn't even supposed to be Fortnite Fuzz. I just kind of made that up halfway through because I really like iDubbbz and his content cop, and I was like, this is a blatant ripoff. I might as well make it extremely known. And in one of my videos, I even made it extremely apparent in a skit that I did where I was like talking to another officer. I was like, Landon must be copying Mr. Beast. And I had the other voice of myself say, oh, just how you're copying iDubbbz. Just because I really like his content and stuff. And, I'm obviously pretty much doing the same format. But, whenever I first started Fortnite Fuzz, unintentionally, I was really extremely annoyed at the fact that Scammer Get Scam YouTubers were getting the brunt of the attention because the content that they're creating. And you have people who grind out videos. You got David Dean, A1 Get His Money, Aidan Harris, Split Screen. You got me, Torii X. You got a lot of people. Sorry if I missed anybody. You got a lot of people that genuinely care and want to make videos and want to grow a community, and then you got people who are essentially trying to cash in the same way that a lot of battle royale YouTubers are trying to cash in, and the content's very similar. It's extremely bad content with a flashy thumbnail and some ridiculous title like stupid ultra dumb African warlord scammer get scammed, and
is that actually a video?
Actually, yes, an African warlord. I think that's
wow. I'm going to link that in the description down below.
You'll be able to find it on his channel. But yeah, they got all that going on. And nowadays, what I think of it now is honestly, it doesn't bother me as much because if people are interested in Scammer Get Scam, then they're obviously not going to be interested in our content.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And I feel like they're really not exactly taking viewers away from us. They're actually kind of more introducing people to Save the World, although in a negative light. But those people that are watching Scammer Get Scammed obviously aren't interested in the David Dean Twine Peaks build or the Litanah Max Perk links or in any of those videos. They're really just battle royale kids that want to see a dumb reaction from somebody taking a rare gun. And at the end of the day, they probably wouldn't even care about normal Save the World content unless it would be how to get free V-Bucks. And that's essentially how it goes.
I think there's a misconception of the game sometimes as well, whereby they think the game's more about getting the best gun. And I don't mean having the schematic to make the best gun. I mean just holding a Gravedigger or a Nocturno. And I was in a game earlier today and someone recognized me. All they kept saying was, can you give me a Nocturno? Can I get a Nocturno?
Oh my Lord.
I just made one and gave him one. It was like, but wouldn't it be better? It's the cliche, isn't it? Give a man a fish and he can eat for a day. Give him a net and he can eat for a year. And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like you're not seeing the fact here. You can have a net. You just keep asking for fish.
I've never understood the whole I want a gun concept because Like, even I'll be playing with one of my friends, and they'll be like, "Hey, can you craft me a bundle bus for this mission so that I can melt mist monsters or something?"
Yeah.
Because I have the bundle bus myself, but he has a max perked one,
Yeah.
and I'll use it for the mission, and it'll be done in a few missions. I'll give him some more mats and stuff. That's fine. But say I get a gun, say I didn't have the Nocturno schematic, and
Yeah.
I just actually no, I used the Gravedigger for an example before it came back, because a lot of my subscribers would always donate Gravediggers so that I could give them away on stream, or so I could use them off camera, or just whatever. And
Yeah.
I was always like, I like this gun and all, but I can't craft it whenever I want. So what's the point?
Yeah.
What if I used up the 10 Gravediggers in my storage and now I can't use a gun that I really like? So why even use it right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the trader kids literally just want to have it in their inventory for the fact of having it in their inventory. They don't even care about shooting a zombie with it. Well, a husk. I probably just made a lot of people mad. But
don't worry, that's what this channel's all about.
But they probably don't even care about shooting husks with the weapon. They just like the gratification of having it, but it just doesn't make sense because the game was not built for trading. It has nothing in it that even could slightly advocate trading, and it has no features whatsoever, as in like a separate collection book for things that aren't schematics. Like that would be for trading. If you had a collection book for just weapons, okay, here I have a nature gravedigger, a water gravedigger, a fire, that would be cool. But that's only, if it was built around trading, which it's not. So
well, speaking of that, I mean, what do you feel that Epic's take on that should be? I mean, should they make... Because I love the fact of having them rare weapons. I used to play a lot of, back in the olden days, World of Warcraft, early world, like Vanilla WoW, and I played it right through all the expansions, to be fair. I think I stopped at Mists of Pandaria. But what actually it was, there was some quests in there that you could do, and they were so hard to get, and you could have a mount. Like, I had this tiger mount that we got. I can't remember where it was from. But no one had it. So when I used to get this mount, everyone used to come round and be like, "Oh, where did you get that? That's awesome." And I kind of loved that feeling because there were loads of different World of Warcraft servers. It was really rare. So it's not like everybody on the server got it. It was like, oh, someone on our server's got this. And then they introduced achievements for like server firsts and things like that. And I think Save the World can implement something like that. But do you think that things should remain rare? Or is that just feeding traders at the moment? And they should just release weapons as openly as what they have been doing lately?
That's actually, I don't know where you came up with these questions for, but they have like, they completely directly relate with what's been going on recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
I made a video called "The Problem with the Gravediggers Return."
Yeah, I saw that.
That video got around 35K, but a lot of people extremely misunderstood what I was talking about in that video. Essentially in that video, I was talking about how I'm glad that the Gravedigger came back. I believe that everybody should have the schematic, but I feel like the people that originally did the 30+ quests back in the original FORTNITEMARES should get something a little special other than just a second schematic. And
yeah, I got like the Battle Royale people did with the Skull Trooper.
Yeah, because I said in that video, it was extremely unfair for you to have the Skull Trooper have special treatment, but something that's even rarer in your other game mode is like, okay, here you go, you can have it. 1680 gold, you don't got to grind out like over 30 quests, which can, be the equivalent of like 60+ missions. Now you can, just have it. There you go. And essentially I was like, well, what if, the founders, they could detect a second schematic within, their account and make one of those like a purple Gravedigger, have like some special glow to it or something to signify that that person, was around back then. And a lot of people,
to show it's the original.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people did not like that idea. I was using the term OG ironically in that video, and I even pointed that out, but a lot of people were like, oh, look at this kid thinking that people can be OG and save the world and stuff. I got a lot of hate on that video, but, mostly positive. But a lot of people even thought that I was trying to say that I didn't want the Gravedigger to come back. Somebody commented something rude and said, now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go level up my Gravedigger. And I'm like, well, I did the same thing. I don't got a problem with that. I just feel like there should be some sense of rarity in Save the World. With something, you got the Nocturno, which is going on sale very soon. If it's not already on sale, I'm not sure if the editions are up yet. But you'll be able to buy the Nocturno extremely soon. but it's still
What
going to be
from
considered
the
that
event
rare
store?
weapon.
Is that from the event store?
Oh no, not the Nocturno from the event store. I'm talking
from the Ultimate Edition.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
we're having everything else go 50% off, and then the Ultimate Edition still going to be that $100 price tag.
I thought I'd missed something, and it was like they were just going to put it in the event store.
Oh my god, if they did that, oh my god, no. But that weapon is still considered. That's like the only weapon in the game, the Nocturno, that you can really consider to be a rare weapon, despite being available for a very long time, because not many people want to drop that much money on a game. But aside from the Nocturno, you got a few banners here and there that can be considered rare, but we really don't have any heroes. Well, maybe Bloodfinder AC, but I'm sure he'll be available soon. And weapons that are truly rare, and that's something that I wish was in the game, because I feel like it should be. And a solution to this is because I feel everybody should have access to weapons and schematics and stuff at some point, but like they did with the Skull Trooper, do something special for the people that have owned that schematic for a few months, or that have been there for a very long time. Give them something special other than just a second schematic in their inventory.
Absolutely. I was watching a stream from, you've probably heard of him, Allure SC, is it? I think it's pronounced Allure SC. And he's going to California, I think it is, where the Epic HQ is. I think it's California. I always get the place wrong. But
I think it's North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that might be it. I know it began with a C.
Yeah, they had that whole problem with the hurricane. So, I live in South Carolina, so I'm there near.
Oh, right. Well, so you're right near you should have gone there as well. But what they've got is they're inviting some content creators from Fortnite Save the World and influencers. People who've they might just be they might have a big Discord group, they might have a Twitch channel, and they've invited some creators over there to actually talk about some ideas on how to improve Save the World, which I thought was really promising. When he told me that the other night, I thought that was super promising. Is that something what would you tell them? So if you were in there and you had 3 days with Epic Games, or and they said, look, give us 3 of the most important things, what we need to raise our game on here, what would it be?
If they were to invite me out there and they asked me that question, first I would ask them, why didn't they invite David Dean? Because
we'll assume he's there. We'll assume he got an invite.
We'll assume he gave his feedback already.
Yeah, he just turned up in a chopper because he's cool like that.
Yeah, I mean, Aidan Harris commented on my video not too long ago, said he's a descendant of Genghis Khan, and I can see it. So I wouldn't doubt he'd do something like that. But for real, if I was asked that question, number one thing for me, or one of the things for me in pretty much any video game, is customization. And we're getting some major customization in terms of the 6 heroes in the next update in the next few months or whatever. That's really cool how they're switching up the hero system. But for me personally, I am a huge fan. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm a huge fan of cosmetic stuff.
Same.
I feel like, playing Save the World, and the game's been out for well over a year, and we have the default dance and the Ride the Pony dance that is slightly ridiculous. It's been over a year and we got the same 2 emotes, but that's something that I wish that they would introduce in the game, would make it a lot more fun. Everybody's sitting, by the retrieve the data mission, waiting to pop the balloon, and everybody's like, doing the worm or the infinite dab while they're waiting, just something stupid. And that's one thing that they said a very long time ago that they were looking to implement, and as of yet they still haven't. And I
heard, and I don't know if it's true, I heard it was because the constructor models don't match with can't do the dancers, if you know what I mean, because the skins overlap. I think the ninjas and everything else can do it. The Outlanders, ninjas, and soldiers, but the constructors, there's a problem with the dancing on those. I don't know. Like I said, that's something I saw on Reddit.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing. My argument for that, though, is that you have a mission like the deliver the bomb mission, and after you complete the mission, the entire ending sequence is completely incomplete. Where the cannon aims at the rift and it just kind of like stares at it, and then the mission ends. And that's extremely incomplete, and that's extremely buggy and unprofessional. So if you had, a constructor's arm slightly go through his body, I don't think it would be as big of a problem as a completely unfinished mission.
Absolutely.
And so, in my opinion, cosmetics in general would grow Save the World way more than where it's at. You got people like me that just do not spend V-Bucks on llamas. The other day, I went into Battle Royale to buy 2 emotes just to support Cylon, who's a Twitch streamer that I've been
I know Cylon.
And I just don't buy llamas. I have everything I need and that I want. So I'm not really too crazy about getting past power level 94 because I can do 4-player 100s. So I'm not really too stressed about that. So I really just don't open llamas. And I think cosmetics would give a lot of people options to spend V-Bucks and would truly open Epic's eyes to be like, I think these Save the World dudes kind of like this stuff. Maybe we should do more of this stuff.
Well, did you notice when they did the UI update? I'm going to come back to this 3 things to change, by the way. So number one's cosmetics. But did you notice in the UI, there was nothing to say? Like, there was no llama option. There was no loot tab. There was nothing to say. So maybe they are going to do that, and maybe they are going to move away from the llama meta.
I saw that they did have a tab that said the item shop. I don't know if they're going to have their own llama tab or they're just kind of implementing the llamas and the item shop together or in the event shop.
Yeah, possibly.
They could be doing that. I mean, I don't know because it's really just up to interpretation. But, at the end of the day, llamas are just RNG progression. And that's a really bad way to progress in a video game. It's like, hey, you power level 100. How'd you get there? I was like, I spent $5,000 on llamas, and I got
You're
all this.
Borderline pay to win, really, aren't you? Though, in a way.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It's a PvE game. If somebody wants to spend a lot of money to kill more husks, then I mean, it's not. If somebody wants to spend more money to be a better teammate, I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, helps you out if anything.
Yeah. But that's really how progression works in Save the World. Aside from the every now and then you can do an alert for a legendary survivor, but really you're trying to get those mythic leads. It's entirely based up to a random number generator to determine how far you're going to make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something I disagree with, but not to the point where I'm just going to whine about it all day. But what I will whine about all day are those cosmetics. But yeah.
So what would be your second point then? What would be the second thing that you'd change? So you've got cosmetics, bringing them in, which I think is a great idea, by the way. So what would you do as your second major change?
Second major change would obviously be a fix to the trading problem, and that is the number one thing I've talked about with a lot of different people. I remember playing a game. I don't know if you've played it. I'm sure a lot of people have. It's Borderlands.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I remember Borderlands 1. Oh, yeah. Borderlands 1 was like my thing. That's what I did all the time. Well, Borderlands had a system where I forget you could walk up and hold B or triangle or circle, or you do something and you would open up a trading menu with that person, and you could trade that way. And this is the
loads of games do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Borderlands 1 for some reason is like the game that just sticks out to me. I've played Rocket League. I've traded in Rocket League. I've traded in Borderlands. I've traded in a lot of different games, but for some reason Borderlands sticks out to me. Well, I've always thought about what if Epic were to implement a feature where if somebody were to say I dropped a Nocturno on the ground and you walked up to me and you looked at the Nocturno and it says, item owned by FPS Joey, which is my PSN name. So, item owned by DemonJoeFrance, and you try to pick it up, but you can't. The only way I can give you that Nocturno is if we open a trade menu and I give you that Nocturno.
Now, that'd work. I've spoken about that before as well.
Oh, yeah. That in and of itself would destroy Scammer Get Scam YouTube videos. Who wants to stand there and watch people sit in a trade menu where it's near impossible to scam somebody? I mean, when the feature comes out, you can be like, trolling people with the new trading feature and like drop a Nocturno and somebody goes to pick it up and they can't. And then they scream in the mic, whoop-de-doo, $1 million. And,
but that won't last long, will it? If that's
it won't
the case.
last long at all. If you basically could drop items, because people would complain. They're like, if you were to say you can't drop items, they'd be like, well, I'm trying to clear my inventory and, I don't want to have to individually dismantle these items. If you made it where you can drop items, but only you can pick them back up, and the only way to give to other players is through a trading menu, then that would truly change. You could make exceptions to things like ammo. So if somebody like really needs ammo in the heat of the moment or wood or something, you can drop that. But whenever it comes to weapons and I guess you could give people traps as well. That probably wouldn't be too much of a problem, but I don't know. A lot of people trade for traps, but you could do something like that, and then that would completely destroy the Scammer Get Scam YouTube videos, and then they'd obviously have to move to another game and another trend to find something else. And
do you think they'd move to another game, or do you think some of them would actually start playing the game, or do you think that?
If I'm
Because
not,
I think it's Jake has already said that he's not doing any more Fortnite Save the World. So
yeah, I remember somebody tweeted me that, and I cannot explain how happy I was. But personally, me, no, they're not going to stick with Save the World. I've personally talked. A lot of people try to like trash talk me and say, you're friends with Fresh Panda, you're friends with Twine Cheeks. Of course you wouldn't want to expose them again, because I'm friends with them on PlayStation 4. They added me on PlayStation 4 and wanted to talk privately,
yeah,
and they talked to me about it, and obviously I can't show proof, so nobody has a reason to believe me. But going
yeah,
from my word, they told me that their videos are faked. They're obviously, they were like, how could somebody not think that these videos aren't fake? And they said that a lot of people think that they're fake as well, but they watch it for the reaction, because it's still
yeah.
funny.
It's like WWE. People watch that for the same
Yeah.
reason. Okay, all right. So what would be the third thing that you'd change then?
If I had to change a third thing,
So
we got
cosmetics we've got so
cosmetics.
far. We've got a trade menu so far. What would be the third thing?
I think the third thing would be, oh god, I just voice cracked. That's the signature of my channel. The third thing really for me would be a focus on a true end game for Fortnite Save
Yes.
the World, because currently the thing that keeps me coming back to the game, and this isn't going to last forever, but the thing that makes me play every single day is the feature that we got about half a year ago, which is the perk recombobulator.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm able to max out my schematics and be able to get these weapons to where I want them to be, because I have a maxed out Razor Blade, Nocturno, Wraith, Rat King as of now, almost got a maxed out Rat-a-tat, Argon Assault Rifle. The list goes on and on of
Yeah.
stuff that I got with full legendary perks, and that's just something that gives me something to do, and I have a lot of fun with. Just seeing a weapon at the peak potential that it possibly could be is really fun for me to do. But at the end of the day, we still don't have an end game, and that's essentially what's missing from the game.
I think that's going to be, the kick. If Fortnite Save the World takes off as big as what I think it can be, which is even reaching the heights of, say, Battle Royale, close to, maybe not right up there, but reaching it, will be the gun, the gun meta, how the gun meta kind of develops, because I think if you could customize guns even further, like you said about bringing cosmetics in, things you could put onto your guns, things like that. So think about mashing up kind of Counter-Strike with Borderlands, for example. Then I think you've got potentially a winning formula there. I don't know how they would do it, but that potentially I think could draw in, millions, if tens of millions of people to come and watch.
I mean, at the end of the day, Save the World's main focus is weapons. So if you were to introduce those weapon skins in a shop for, V-Bucks and stuff, nobody would complain. That's extra content. It makes it more fun. That's just what cosmetics do at the end of the day. They just make the game more enjoyable, bring it more life, and it gives you more things to do. So, somebody could have, say, a Nocturno schematic, but it could be like an animated weapon skin where the skull on the weapon actually has like moving flames on it, or just something out there that just looks really cool.
That's why Rocket League, I think, did so well. I mean, it's a great game in itself, but I think one of the great things was customizing the cars exactly how you wanted them to look. So that was, I could go online with you and think, oh, that's DemonJoeFrance's car. Look how cool that is. And it was, no one else would have one like it.
Yeah, Rocket League truly found a lot of success. I actually played the beta whenever the game was first coming out, and I played the game whenever it came out after that. And it had no trading system. It had cosmetics and stuff that you could find, but it had no trading system. When the trading system got introduced to Rocket League, that's when Rocket League found true success, because it had the trading system. It had all these cosmetics. It had crates and keys and everything that came with it just at one time, and then everything blew up. Back before EndoRail and Easy Drop were manipulating people on Save the World, they were on Rocket League doing trading videos. And those channels got terminated, which is against YouTube's terms of service to make another channel after that. But they ended up doing the same thing. And so they went to Fortnite and did a lot of trading. And that's what Jakers did as well. Jakers was a Rocket League YouTuber that went over to Save the World. Because
didn't know about Jakers doing it.
Oh yeah. Rocket League currently is like in some kind of state right now where the game is doing really good, but the YouTube scene is like a little lacking for some reason in views. I logged into Rocket League the other day and it had around, like 150,000 people playing. which is really good. You know, PC, Xbox, PlayStation. It's really good for a player base, but the YouTube scene is kind of lacking because the hype around the game died a little bit. And that's kind of why people move to Save the World, because they see Twine Cheeks and they see Fresh Panda. And they're like, oh, this is a trading game. Let me get on this.
Yeah, definitely. And you see that as well, especially, I saw it more in early Canny Valley, but people, they kind of log into a mission and the first thing they're asking you is pestering you, where did you get that gun? Or, do you want one of these? I can make Gravediggers. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you get that daily quest that says complete 3 missions in Stonewood, and it is a lot more difficult than you would think.
Yeah. That though, my son recently started playing Fortnite Save the World, and I think what's great is the fact that so many people, without him asking, because I've been online with him, will just drop him guns. The Save the World community, average player, is actually really nice. And I keep telling him, don't trade, and I'm saying, don't trade, don't do this scam, don't get into this scam and get scam meta. And we drop into a game and someone just drops him a gun. Yeah. Someone just drops him a 130 Tiger with all legendaries on it. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I think that says a lot about the actual community as well, as in, there's quite a generous side to it as well. I know there's a lot of bad side to it, but I think the people in general in this game, something that I've not seen in a lot of other games, I've played online games for literally, I think probably decades now, but I've played online games for a long, long time. And usually in online games, it's an extremely salty and quite an aggressive community. And this doesn't seem that way. You meet a lot of nice people, or I have certainly on my way in Fortnite Save the World. Even if they don't recognize that I'm a YouTuber, I've just met some fantastic people along the way.
It was actually crazy that you mentioned that again, because these questions, you're like getting inside my mind right now, Litanah. I don't know what you're doing.
Research.
But just the other day, I was playing a Retrieve the Data mission. This was before the new Retrieve the Data, and I was playing it, and I was talking with a guy in game chat because I noticed somebody was talking, so I got out of my party. I was like, I'll go talk to this guy, see what he's doing. And I low key was expecting like a 10-year-old asking me to trade because he was looking at me.
But dancing and shooting at you.
But it wasn't anything like that. It was just a guy. He was asking me. The cram session had just released, and he was asking me what I was grinding for, and me and him were talking and stuff. And I got on the topic of like, what weapons I'm trying to max out at the moment. And I was saying, I'm trying to actually max out my bowler right now because I think, it's a fantastic cannonball meme weapon. And, it's really fun to use. I was like,
I use my egg launcher.
I was like, that's what I'm trying to max out right now. And he said, oh, really? I got one maxed out. And he dropped it for me. I said, yo, man, that's really nice of you, dude. I appreciate it. I'm actually a YouTuber, so I'm actually trying to make these weapons and do a video on them, and I still have what he's given me to this day. He literally just crafted 5 more and was here. He didn't check, he didn't look and see if I was a YouTuber, he didn't do anything. He was like, wow. Oh, you're a YouTuber, you want to make a video? Oh, okay, here you go. And then he crafts 5 of them and just drops them. I'm like, oh my god, dude. I'm like, that was like the nicest thing. It's just random, dude. I was just doing a Twine Peaks mission. He's just like, okay, crafts me 5 of them and gives them to me. I'm like, dude, you're freaking
I think
nice.
You've only got to look in the comment section. Like I said, I've been doing some research over the last few days on yourself, knowing that we've got this interview coming up, and I'm going through the comment section. And what I like is as well, they're not filtered out. Obviously, there's good and bad in there, but there's some really good ones in there, and then there's some really solid people in there who, if they're not just asking questions, it's just kind of giving tips, but not in a salty ways. And you got this wrong, you're an idiot. It's kind of more of, oh, Joe, you could try this, and I kind of like that about the community. I think it's just got a really helpful kind of core to it, which I think is really positive for Fortnite Save the World. Hopefully it's going to stay like that if it goes free to play. I don't know if the paywall's making it that way or not.
With my comment section personally, I know that you go for a PG, a family-friendly environment and stuff. That's extremely respectable for the fact that most people are like, okay, yeah, I'm a PG channel, and then they clickbait it, because they know that little kids are watching. And that's something that you don't do, and that's why I greatly respect your channel. Whenever I first started making Save the World videos, you got recommended to me. I forgot what video it was, but I think it was talking about something with Fortnite becoming free or something. Your opinions.
Oh, right. Yep.
I got recommended that video, and that's how I got onto your channel. And you being a PG content creator and not clickbaiting is very extremely respectable, seeing as most people do it. And me personally, I don't filter my comments at all. a lot of people say that I'm geared towards a younger audience, but I don't really go towards any specific audience. But I believe that everybody for the most part, whether you're going to be extremely toxic or extremely nice or whatever, it's whatever. You can comment whatever you like, but if you're like really persistent and you're obviously just going to comment the same thing every single video or just be a complete jerkbag, then yeah, I'm going to ban you from my channel.
Yeah, I think with me, the fact I've got kids, because my kids go on my videos to watch them, so if they've got their dad on there effing and blinding and trying to be someone he's not, then that's going to shine through. And I don't want that. I want something they can watch, because ultimately, they're my number one audience members, really, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you don't want your kids going into the comment section and be like, Litanah's kids, your dad's a scammer. He scammed me for
Yeah, exactly.
Dad, did you scam him for a nocturnal?
Yes, I did. I got you one as well.
Yeah. So, thanks, Dad.
All right, well, I'm trying to keep the interview like within an hour if I can, because I'm trying to do this series to kind of bring us all together, and the long-term goal is hopefully that we could get on maybe like a once a week stream. Someone was saying this in the community page today, but we could get like some streams going where we go on together, be that monthly, weekly, whenever we can do it. But we do have like the other YouTubers, so like Aidan, we got Checker, David Dean, yourself, Torii, and Morgan, of course. When you start listing names, you always think, nah, I'm going to miss some people. But my thought is, I want to kind of bring it so that we're kind of playing a bit more together and seeing a little bit more, getting us a bit more unified in that sense. Because I think it'd be great as well, great to watch. And, I have a great time with all you guys as well. So I think it'd be cool. But on that note, what I do want to do, I've got some questions from the actual community as well.
Okay.
First one that I want to ask is David Dean's gnome conspiracy theory. Will Epic Games do something with these, or are they just there for fun?
Well, I feel like Epic Games will take what David Dean had to say into serious consideration, and I feel like when I say that they're probably just going to up the ante and they're going to make it worse. So when either the Plankerton biome comes out or the Twine Peaks biome comes out, I would expect some sort of Easter egg, if it's not already apparent, that we're going to find some huge gnome army either in the volcanoes of Twine Peaks or under the marsh of Plankerton.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a quest line geared around these things as well? Not just smash the gnome or find gnomes, but just something where we're finding little hidden scenes.
Like a whole separate side quest line, like a secret quest that you could obtain.
That'd be so good.
That would be amazing, to be honest. There's way too many gnomes that exist for it not to go anywhere.
Well, a few people have asked as well about G Fuel. What's the deal with G Fuel? I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm in the UK or it's not as big a brand over here. I know of G Fuel because of some other streamers and things like that. But why is it important? And I've got on here as well a few people asking, and what's your favorite flavor? So why is it so important? And what's your favorite flavor? G Fuel.
All right, so the whole G Fuel thing is kind of like a channel inside joke. It's basically it's a product. It's a natural energy product. It's a powder. You put it into 16 ounces of water, shake it up. It's like powdered Kool-Aid essentially. Except for it's like Monster and Red Bull without all the crap in it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm sponsored by them because I'm not. But the whole joke around it is that, if you want a G Fuel sponsorship, you got to have like 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. The whole joke with it is that I'm this tiny channel, but I drink it every day. I really do. I like it. And I'm like, give me the G Fuel sponsorship. I'm like, I'm not sponsored yet. Tweet them and bother them and stuff. That's just kind of the joke. And a lot of people are like, Joey, you're being a sellout. You got to stop. And I'm like, they're never going to sponsor you. And I'm like, okay, just chill. Okay. It's pretty much a joke at this point. And,
I bet, you know what? You might not be far off before the end of the year's out. I think you could be up there.
It's honestly like a dream of mine because I'm sponsored by Control Freak. And as somebody that used to play a lot of Halo and a lot of Duty and competitive games in the past, I really like their product and I use it every single day. And I'm sponsored by them. But, G Fuel is something that I can associate a little bit more with Save the World because Control Freak, is like, okay, if you play a Battle Royale, feel free to use my code and whatever. And, with G Fuel is different. It's something that could keep you up, keep you awake to keep on grinding Save the World, So
it kind of ties in.
And it relates more with what I'm doing than Control Freak does. And I really want it because it's a product that I enjoy and it would support the channel. And I don't mind at all supporting a product that I use every day, because I get emails all the time about, hey, can you advertise our Fortnite items website, where we'll pay you a fixed amount per video so that you can buy your Nocturno for $5 off our website. And I look at that and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. If you think I'm going to do that, I would only be sponsored and show off a product that I truly use and that I truly like. So G Fuel is kind of one of those things, except for it's like one of those late in sponsorships. Like, I'm sure Aidan Harris could get it if he wanted to, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to see the Aidan Harris Banana Blast flavor come out anytime soon.
That'd be awesome.
But for the second question, what's my favorite flavor? I really like the watermelon and the golden apple pear. Those are the flavors that I drink just about every day.
I've never tried it, so I think I'm going to order some after this stream.
It's really good
after this interview, and see what it's like.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
Look up whoever has a promo code and support somebody, because there's always promo codes.
Sponsored by G Fuel,
the official podcast from Litanah. We're sponsored.
So I've got another one, Ruben Boy. Then he's asked as well. I'm going to read this word for word. Ask him his honest opinion of Dante and Twine Cheeks.
Okay, I understand why he's asking that, because
I think he knows the stance. I think a lot of people are interested though in your kind of take on it.
Well, a lot of people think that I hate those guys. Like, I hate them as a person. I try to make this very apparent in pretty much any commentary or any time I'm talking about it, is I don't hate Twine Cheeks. I don't hate Dan7. I just really, really, really hate their content. And there's a difference. There's a difference between me hating their videos and hating them as people. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I'm sure in real life, at the end of the day, people are just trying to make money. And that's with everybody. But, with them personally, I think that it really shows in their personality, on the kind of content that they're making, that they don't even take into consideration what impact they could be having on another community. But I don't hate those guys. I don't hate Twine Cheeks. I don't hate Dan7. I just hate the content that they create. And
there's a difference.
There's a difference. I was always brought up to love everybody. And, I'm a religious person. I don't hate anybody. That's part of who I am.
Yeah.
It's just that the content that they make is extremely, extremely bothersome to me, because it directly affects what I do. And, I have people in my comment section, hey, DemonJoeFrance, do you want to trade? And I'm like, no. No, I do not.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my opinion on those two.
Okay, we kind of could have guessed that answer, I think. Okay, then. So what's the next question I've got this is from Oliver Cherrington. Why are you always out of ammo on your weapon reviews?
Oh my god! Yes.
He's put a smiley face next to it, to be fair. He's put, why is DemonJoeFrance always out of ammo on his weapon reviews?
Dude, everybody, that's another joke for the channel, because there's a lot of things that people just really like to joke about on my channel. I'm gonna go on a little side note right here. I always do it for comedic effect. A lot of people think I'm trying to be offensive, but I'm not. I always call, those little tiny husks that are always trying to bite your ankles.
Yeah.
I always call them midgets, just as a joke, because right. From Borderlands, you got the midget.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, I always like to call those the midget husks. And then the cowboy husks, I call them this on purpose to bother people. I just call them Mexicans. And
I get it now.
I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm really not. It's just I
saw on your video today, and you put something like, I hate them. The meme at the beginning, you put, I hate the Mexicans. I'm like, no one's picking up on this.
There's a quote. There's an exact quote. I'll give it to you right now from one of my videos on a weapon review. It says, quote, I hate those Mexican dudes, end quote, DemonJoeFrance 2018. And I was talking about the cowboy husk. But
I just thought it was some British thing, like you couldn't say that over here, but maybe in America that's okay. I don't know.
No. I'm not. I love everybody. Like I said, I just do it for comedic effect. But with running out of ammo, that's another joke, because I'll start the weapon review and I'll have 2 magazines, and I need to craft ammo for the whole rest of the video. And even in live streams and stuff, people will be typing in chat, Joey, you need to craft ammo. I'm like, oh, I'm 30 bullets away from running out. I'm like, oh, thank you. I didn't realize that. It's just something I don't pay attention to, and it bothers a lot of people to no end that I don't craft ammo.
All right, well, I've got two final questions then we'll close it there. So the first one that I've got then is, first, what made you start playing Fortnite Save the World? I know we've touched on it a little bit, but what was it that attracted you to the game? I know you said you played it and you loved it, but what was it that you loved about it?
Well, as a Minecraft player, as we've talked before, the whole concept of being able to build something and then fight against zombies isn't a foreign concept whatsoever, but it's a concept that I liked if you were to combine the art style of Fortnite and, you know, the way that the game looked and stuff. I just like the idea of building anything I want, and zombies are a huge thing. I don't know if you've ever played this series called Dead Rising, but you know, Dead Rising 1. Oh yeah. Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising Off the Record. You know, I'm a huge fan of that series. And, you know, I really like zombies. I really like building and having creative freedom. I really like shooting things. I love looter shooters, as you can tell from my past of Destiny, which, you know, if you think about it, it makes sense to go to my next main game that I find being a looter shooter.
Yeah, it's natural progression, really.
Yeah. And, you know, that's kind of the main thing. The fact that you can go into a mission, build whatever you want, fight against zombies, get stronger, get better weapons, get cooler weapons, and just kind of progress over time. That's kind of like everything I want in a game. You know, you got zombies, you got building, you got loot, you got progression, and that's why I like Save the World.
Excellent. So it ticks every box in that sense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, final question then. So there's lots of new things coming to Save the World. You know, we've had huge updates and all this great stuff coming. We've got the new Halloween event, the updated UI, new heroes, weapons. Eventually, we're getting the Canny Valley story started to move a little bit now. So we've got recently had new one talking about expanding on that. So Comics and Kane Whiffen have both asked, do you know, what's out of all that, what is it you're looking forward to the most? What's got you the most hyped?
It kind of sounds a little stupid, to be honest, but what I'm really most hyped for right now, and I'll give you a valid reason why, is the menu redesign. Personally, the fact that they're completely overhauling the menu and making everything more accessible to people and making it a lot easier to navigate, that is what I'm most hyped about right now. And you might be asking, you know, why are you hyped about a menu? It's a cosmetic change.
I can totally relate. I'm the same.
And the main reason behind that is because what I talked about in one of my news videos is that it obviously shows that Epic Games is like, okay, we care about the game. You know, we're going to put some time into it. We're going to truly do something that's going to be good. If Epic Games is taking a menu, completely redesigning it, making it look cleaner, making it more accessible, then it's obvious that they're doing it for a future player base. For people that are thinking that Save the World's going to fall off, oh, it's going to be the next Paragon. No, it's not. You look at what they're doing with the menus, they're clearly making it more accessible for players that come in the future. Why would they prepare something for future players if they just plan on making this game a side project? You know, David Dean said it best when he said that the buzz of Battle Royale seems to be dying down, and it looks like the developers are getting back where they need to be with Save the World.
True.
And I couldn't agree more with that. It looks like they're truly putting some love and some thought into the game with these menu designs. And, you know, they're trying to drive new players into the game mode and make them want to stay, because I think we can all admit that the current way the game is extremely confusing. And if we did not have YouTube videos, it would be pretty hard to play the game. Because with power level and commander level and, you know, how survivor squads work, it's just never really explained that well. And, you know, now that they're completely redesigning their tutorials, redesigning their menu, makes me see how much hope and how much of a future we have as a community.
Yeah, I think so. That's really well put as well. I mean, I think that one thing that they said in the Reddit post and on the devlog that they did as well, they were saying that they want to make it more immersive so it transitions into the story so you don't feel as pulled out of the game, you know, when you're in the menu screen. Like now you've got all these boxes and it doesn't feel like there's a connect with the story because it's essentially a menu game, which is great for us. Yeah, but I think it'll make it feel a little bit more arcadey, if you know what I mean, in that sense, which I think's not a bad thing. You know, I've had a really great time, and I think that we could do another one of these in the future if it's something you're up for.
Of course, dude. I mean, I had a lot of fun. You know, I'm always down to talk. A lot of people say I talk too much, so.
Yeah, I get that a lot too. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you know, I've got you on Discord now as well, so you know, hopefully we'll get to keep in touch. What I asked David Dean to do as well on the video, I'm going to release this out, it'll be tomorrow for us now. But when people listen to this, hopefully, if you want to give it a couple of days and then maybe drop into the comments and answer people's questions, you know, if they've got any follow-up questions that they want to ask, would you be cool to do that?
I mean, I love answering people's questions, so I'm always down for that.
Awesome. All right. Well, a massive thanks for being here today, Demon Joe. What we're actually looking for as well, I said, I want to bring the community together. So, you know, thanks for helping with this series as well. And, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Of course, man. I'm so glad that you're doing this, man. And it really means a lot that I would be your next guest on here, considering my subscriber count compared to David Dean.
I don't look at subscriber counts. Honestly, I'd look at, you know, the content, what people are putting out. Is the person likable? And, you know, that's it. And obviously, you know, from when your channel first started, you know, I really wanted to get involved with it. You know, and I knew you were going to be as successful as what you are being. And, you know, you've got a lot of room to peak still, you know, which is great. So I'm looking forward to watching, you know, going forward and see where it takes you.
Well, it greatly means a lot to me that somebody that I actually look up to wanted me on here for an interview. So I greatly appreciate you taking time, and even with me waking up late for it, I appreciate what you bearing with me.
I wasn't going to tell people that.
I don't know. I had to mention it. I don't know. I seem to be the most unprofessional person in the world, but thank you for dealing with that and bearing with me and having me on here. It really does mean the world, and I greatly appreciate it.
All right then, guys. Well, thanks for joining us as well. We've got Torii X on next week, so look forward to that. So make sure you keep watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And I've also got Demon Joe's subscription down below in the comments. So I'll catch you guys on the next Let's Talk. Take care now.